jalapeno potato chips. Hands down, I enjoy these very, very much. And I know a lot of us eat the jalapeno potato chips as well. So I've gotten many requests for many, many flavors. And this is the flavor we're doing today. All right, so here are the ones I made. As you can see, they have a nice dark green color. And that's because we made our own jalapeno powder. All right. So before we get started, if you do not want to make everything yourself, that's totally fine. This video is not for you. This video is for the sole purpose of teaching people how you can make your own snacks at home. If you don't want to do all that, you can go ahead and buy yourself a bag from the store, and that is that, right? But that's enough talking. Let's go ahead and get started. You want to start out by getting some jalapenos, all right? Because where else will we be getting the jalapeno flavor from? This is roughly 2 pounds of jalapenos, and make sure you wash them because, you know, they sit on the shelves in the market. People touch them all the time, and, you know, we don't want our jalapenos to be full of dirtiness. So make sure you wash them thoroughly. I've already done that to mine. So now go ahead and grab your jalapeno, and you're going to slice off the top just like that because we don't need this. This is just a stem, and we don't need it for flavor. After slicing the top off, go ahead and give that a slice right through the middle, just like that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and de-seed this jalapeno. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a spoon, and look how easy this is. All you're going to do is push from the inside out, and it should clean it out just like that. We don't really need the inside because our flavor is gonna be coming from the jalapeno itself. So now go ahead and do that to the rest of your jalapenos. So once you're done, go ahead and throw all of this away because you won't need it. You only need the jalapeno shells. So now to make the next step a lot quicker, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and slice my jalapeno in half, right? To make these strips a lot smaller. So go ahead and do that to the rest of your jalapenos. So now you will be needing a food dehydrator. The reason why you need one is because you're gonna be drying out those jalapenos. That way you're able to turn them into a powder. That's how you're gonna get your jalapeno powder. I know many of you guys don't have food dehydrators sitting around your house. So I'm gonna go ahead and link this one in the description. If you wanna purchase it, it comes at a good quality for a very fair price. If you wanna check out the price, click the link in the description and then go ahead and purchase it if you would like. So now let's continue. So now go ahead and separate your trays, and you're gonna go ahead and fill that up with your jalapenos, right? So you can space this as packed as you want. As spaced as you want, it doesn't really matter because once it starts dehydrating, they will shrink. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill them up to about an amount like this, and I'm gonna go ahead and continue and start filling up the next tray. So go ahead and do that. So now you're gonna go ahead and turn it on, and you're gonna put the temperature at 140 degrees. And you're gonna let that run for 8 hours. So now that we're in this step, I do wanna say something. If you don't wanna do all of this, that's totally fine. You could go ahead and go buy a bag of chips from the store. This video is solely for the purpose of bringing value to people's life on how to make their own stuff at home. So if you don't wanna do all of this, totally fine, I understand. Go ahead and buy yourself a bag of chips at the store. Right? So now let that sit for 8 hours. So it actually took us 18 hours to finally dehydrate the peppers to where we need them to be. As you can tell right here, as you can see, all it takes is a little bit of pressure and they snap just like that. If your jalapenos are still bending, that means they need more time because you need to have these dry to the point where all you need to do is apply a slight bit of pressure just like that and they snap, right? So now we're gonna break this down to turn it into that powder. So now I'm gonna be using my food processor to break this down. If you don't have a food processor, you can use a normal blender, it'll work fine. Go ahead and pulse that until you have a nice powder. So after you're done pulsing, you should have a nice powder that looks just like that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and transfer that into the bowl. Meanwhile, we continue. We're gonna start off with some potatoes. I'm only gonna be using 2 because these are 2 large reset and they're gonna make enough chips for me. Now I'm gonna go ahead and peel them. You don't have to peel them if you don't want to, but I just don't like the skin. And to make it easier to pick up those shavings, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a paper towel, place it on my surface, and I'm gonna start shaving directly into that paper towel. So go ahead and peel them. So now go ahead and throw your shavings away. Now that you're done peeling, always rinse your potatoes to make sure you get rid of excess dirt. So now to cut our potatoes, I'm gonna be using a mandolin. My mandolin comes with the crinkle blade, as you can see right here. If you don't have a mandolin, you could do this with your knife. It'll still come out the same. You just won't get the ridges. And now, if you do want to purchase one, I'm gonna go ahead and link it in the description. They're fairly cheap. And so now for the thickness of our potatoes, I forgot to mention this in my previous video, but I'm gonna be using my 3.0 millimeter space. As you can see right here, it's the blue one. And that's the thickness we want, because if we cut it too thin, we're not gonna get that crispiness and they're gonna burn. So now go ahead and grab a big bowl of water. You're gonna place your mandolin right over it, and you're gonna slice directly into that water, just like that. And you guys, please be careful when using the mandolin, because I have just sliced my finger off camera. So please be very careful. Just look at those perfect ridges. So now go ahead and wash your potatoes in that water until the water runs clear. We want to get rid of all the starch that's in here. So you're gonna go ahead and clean these potatoes in here, throw this water out until the water runs clear. Once your water runs clear, go ahead and put that to the side. We're gonna start on our jalapeno seasoning. So now to boil, go under with 1 tablespoon of our jalapeno powder, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, half a tablespoon garlic powder, half a tablespoon onion powder, and 1 tablespoon of salt. Give that a mix. Your seasoning should look something like this. Now put that to the side while we continue. So now go ahead and fill up a pot of water and bring it to a boil. Once your water comes to a boil, go in there with a splash of vinegar. Follow that up with a tablespoon of salt. Now drop your potatoes in there and boil them for 5 minutes exactly. After 5 minutes, kill the heat, take them out, and place them on a paper towel to drain excess water. Pat them with a paper towel to ensure that there is no water in there. Now go ahead and heat up some oil to 350 degrees. I'm using canola, but you can use any other sort of oil. And you know the oil is not dirty, those are just shavings from the last batch of chips I made. Once at 350 degrees, go ahead and drop your potatoes in there. And you're gonna fry this for roughly 10 to 15 minutes until it has a nice color and crunch. Once they got a nice color and crunch like this, go ahead and take them out. Once you're done frying all your potato chips, go ahead and instantly hit them with a generous amount of that seasoning we made. Now give them a toss. Just look at that nice green color that jalapeno powder gave our chips. Now I'm gonna go ahead and transfer this into a bowl. Let's just go ahead and admire the ones I just made right now. Look at that nice green color. Perfection. All right, so now let's go in there for that comparison. All right, so these are the ones I made, and these are the store-bought ones. All right, so let's go ahead and just compare them real quick, right? You could already tell these have a different color. Like I said, all chips do have food dye, and these look more of the darker green side. That's because everything we made is natural, right? So let's go in there for that taste test. I'm gonna start off with the ones from the store, right? So here you go. That's a good potato chip. So now let's go in there with the one I made, right? So let's go in there. All right, so taste-wise, the jalapeno flavor is there. This tastes more of an artificial jalapeno flavor, and this one tastes more of a natural jalapeno flavor. That's because, like I said, and you saw, we made our own jalapeno powder, all right? So there you go. Let's go in there one more time, all right? So let's go with the store-bought one. Now let's go in there with the one I made. All right, let's just look at that. You see that? Those are natural flavors and colors. All right, so let's go in there. Oh yeah. They're both good, but mine are a little bit better because they're natural. They don't have all the best of this has. And they taste really amazing. So there you have it, you guys. You have now made your own jalapeno potato chips at home. Comment what other flavor you want to see next. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.